All right, guys, this Hangout on Air is live. Happy Friday. Today is December 26th, Boxing Day for some of us, the day after Christmas for others. You're hanging out with my community manager, the community built by, for, and managed by community managers. So as always, you can chat along with us over on Twitter at hashtag CMGR Hangout, where I know a lot of you are right now. And if you love what you're seeing today and want more of it, or want to contribute in some way, or have a topic or a friend, or really anything, just go over to mycmgr.com, click on participate. There's a form there that gets in touch with Sherry and I. It's really your ideas, your connections, everything else that keeps the show going every Friday. So, all right, what do we have for this week? I think the write-up said something about grabbing some hot chocolate and pulling up a chair and taking a break from the holiday craze. We're just going to really reflect on our roles in 2014 as community managers and really look to see what possibly 2015 has in store. So a little bit of future prediction, if you will. All right, so shout out to Sarah over on Twitter, who's helping us on our chat over there. And let's just get things started. And Sherry, say hi, and we'll work our way down.
I am never paying attention when you get to that. Hey everyone, I'm Sherry Rohde. I co-host CMGR Hangout here with Brew, as well as lead community and user experience at Rebellion Media. I haven't been there in a few days, so I forgot what I did for a second. That's me.
Hey, Jessica.
Hey, I'm Jessica, joining in for this chat and super excited to be here. I don't really know what I should be saying about myself, but yeah, super excited to contribute to this one.
Awesome. And Emma, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I am actually no longer a community manager, so this is one of the things I'm reflecting on this year, is that I've gone from being a community manager to being a strategist and working with the community manager, so that's been a neat shift for me. I'm a digital strategist over at FCB, which is an international agency, and I'm out of the Toronto office.
Sweet. And Dom.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Dom. I am the Chief Social Officer and co-founder with Gathering, and I'm really excited to be here. I actually am officially done in my technical role as a community manager and a social media specialist with CET International, and I'm testing those startup waters, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to be that guy at a coffee shop with a lot of loud background noise, reflecting. Oddly enough, if we want to talk about reflection, this chain of coffee shops called Big B Coffee, I once worked at Big B Coffee, and they were the first ones that gave me access to their corporate Twitter account. So we're going full circle, but for 5 years ago, but it's fun.
Excellent. Hey everybody, I'm Brew, Director of Awesome with Be the Change Revolutions, and co-host, co-producer here with Sherry at My Community Manager and Community Manager Hangout. All right, so the first question, guys, as we talk about reflecting here, is what was your favorite community manager moment in 2014? Hey, Crystal, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, sorry I'm late.
That's all right. You know what? We'll just shake things up. You go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about our first question.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Crystal Bruce. I'm the community manager for Target Analytics, and that's a division of Blackbaud. I've been doing it for about 6 months, so I'm kind of a newbie, and I've been listening to these community manager hangouts probably for about 3 months. So you guys have given me some great ideas. I'm kind of back listening to everything and taking diligent notes. And this is the first time
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed us. I think you might just be having some internet issues. You were coming in and out there a little bit robot-y. Was anybody else seeing that too, or is that just me? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's all right. Blame the internet. Blame Google. Don't even feel bad. So, all right, guys, so our first question is about favorite community manager moments in 2014. So, who has theirs top of mind?
I don't know that I have a specific one, but this year is the first time I've been working with health communities instead of tech communities. And I know I've mentioned this a few times, but it's just really, really rewarding at the end of the day to have people message us and say, hey, like, I read this article and was talking about this with so-and-so, and like, I've been able to make some changes and it makes life a little bit better because of it. Or just seeing people connect with each other and realizing that there's other people going through the same kind of life struggles as they are, and it helps them feel a little less alone and a little stronger to brave it through it. So we use Slack for our internal communications at work. So we have a channel just for feedback, and we're always sharing because we manage like 34 different communities, so we're always just sharing in there from the various communities kind of those stories that are happening. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. How about you, Dom? What are some of your favorite moments? Maybe we'll just say favorite moments instead of that way. It doesn't have to be defined and definitive as the one moment. No voting has to happen.
My favorite moments, really, it's this year was the first year I really officially had a title of something that was community manager. You know, we've talked about it on a couple of panels before that, you know, all of us have had jobs that have sort of led us to this point, that have sort of hit on different points of it. But this is when I personally, this year, it was back in February, really doubled down on, you know, managing my own personal brand community, and then somebody decided they wanted to pay me to do the same thing for their brand, which is always a fun step. So all the little things along there, you know, my first Twitter chat to you know, having Sarah Nagel ask me if I wanted to be a part of this for the first time. Like, there's been a lot of them that have been pretty damn awesome that I'm really excited to get more of in 2015.
Oh, well, thanks. So we were part of your favorites, huh?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like the opposite for you guys, you know? Maybe it's so much my favorite, it's so much your not favorite.
No, absolutely. Some of our favorite moments are with you.
My least favorite moment was that one time this guy named Dom joined our Hangout.
And then he wouldn't leave. He, like, just wouldn't go away.
How many subtle hints do we need to drop?
I don't know. He just keeps creating new Google Plus profiles over and over and over again.
That's the lesson. All you kids out there, just keep on pushing hard and annoy Sherry and Brew long enough, and they just won't ask you to leave anymore.
How about you, Crystal? You have a favorite moment or two that come to mind for 2015 or 2014 and community management?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me a little better now?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I think just becoming a community manager was pretty awesome. I had spent 15 years in television news. I was a news producer, and so this was my first time out of TV, and I didn't know if it was going to fit, but it fit, and I've been loving it. Part of the initiative that we're doing on our page is to do community member profiles. So I've had the privilege of talking to some of our community members about their lives, and I think that's fantastic. I'm learning so much about them and what they do and their lives. So that's a great feat that we have, and I hope we continue that into 2015. And then just recently we did like this massive push to get our numbers up in community to 500 by the end of the year, because that was our goal. And so we decided to give away an iPad, and you wouldn't believe how many people would join your community for an iPad. I mean, it's unreal. So we had like 280 people join just in the past month, and so my bosses are pleased and everybody's happy that we got our number. We hit our 500 mark. So just like little achievements like that in the past 6 months have been a-okay, pretty cool.
Awesome. How about you, Jessica?
Okay, I think
favorite moment that comes to mind?
it's harder to think of just one favorite moment, when in reality I could probably list off of, there's a couple of competing ones, but I guess if I wouldn't go very, very, very general, it would be being able to see like a connection that I helped facilitate between 2 or 3 different community members kind of to come to fruition, and being able to see like our members like working and collaborating with each other, and realizing like, you know, even if it's like a small thing of helping them bridge that gap is always something that's really rewarding for me, at least.
Awesome. I'm going to pull up. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, continue.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Sorry. I was bringing up a couple tweets here. Did you have more you wanted to say?
I did not.
Okay. That's totally cool.
I mean,
I think, let's see, for me, a couple of my favorite moments have, we went through something we call BTC 90X, where we kind of focused down with our community management staff earlier in the year. Everyone went through basic training again. We took a look at, where we were with our performances on, how many people we were engaging with and things like that. Really just kind of not only some more of the vanity metrics side of things, but also just what we were doing with storytelling and what the clients thought of how we were doing, and really just dialed up all of our efforts. And that was 90 days of pretty intense, I guess you could say a workout, community management workout with our community managers. But it's really cool seeing people who you thought, a lot of times you think someone knows something, and you go through basic training again, and everyone's catching up on new tips, and oh man, I didn't know that worked that way, and so it's just really great seeing everybody lifting each other up. That was probably my favorite this year.
I think for me, my highlight of the year is actually moving from a community manager role into a strategist role. And I know that you've all heard my rant that you shouldn't have to move on to. It's been really nice to be able to advocate for a community manager from the perspective of somebody else, because community managers, we're always advocating for ourselves all the time. But everyone always advocates for themselves, and I think a lot of the time people have a hard time taking you seriously when you're talking about the importance of your own job, because everyone's supposed to make you feel that your job is the most important all the time. And I think being able to advocate for a position I'm not in has actually really shifted the mindset around that from my office, because now here I am, a completely different role, while saying, well, this role is so important and they have so much to say. And being really able to advocate for community managers from a strategist role has been really nice for me.
Awesome. Let's see what some of the people over on Twitter are saying. So Christina says she's celebrating, one of her best memories is celebrating her first Community Manager Appreciation Day, best day ever. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I definitely had a lot of memories and a lot of fun on Community Manager Day. We have, let's see here. Amir says a favorite community manager moment, Bat Kid. Not sure who was behind this, but they really helped spread the word or spread the story in a great way. Yeah, that was definitely cool, just seeing a whole new community formed around kind of like this PR stunt, so that was cool. Amy says, this week, the community I've been building this year has solidified to the point of asking laptop buying advice. That's pretty cool. Rachel says her favorite moments was seeing people celebrate the importance of community management as a brand differentiator. And Eagle Eye Editors, she says, using blog posts to stimulate discussion among her blog readers and listening to CMGR Hangout. Oh, well, thanks. I'm glad that was a favorite for some of you. All right, let's jump into question number 2, which is, what was your biggest struggle in 2014? So, what are some of the things you guys had problems with? Anyone want to go first?
I'll start. The biggest struggle is actually kind of related to the greatest moment, and that's the fact that I went from kind of just doing stuff for myself for actually working with people that are doing it for a brand. And so with that comes obviously a lot more responsibility, and just trying to keep all of that stuff up in the air. When you have communities that are growing, it's a great thing, but it's equally as important to have a plan for how you're going to handle all of it. what your team's going to look like, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a meta, bigger picture type of a struggle, but that whole idea of trying to keep all of the ducks in a row while working on your own stuff. I know that Sherry has been, immensely patient with me with getting articles in a little bit late because other community stuff has popped up. So, just different little things like that are always a struggle.
Yeah, I think mine's really similar in that I'm really happy to move into the strategist role, but it's also been challenging for me as well to sort of unofficially supervise a position I've held myself. I have very set ideas about what good community management should look like, how it should be done, how I would do it, and even though I work with an absolutely incredible community manager, there's always times when there are things I would do differently, and it's not always a right or wrong thing. It's just that sometimes we do things differently because we're different people, and it's interesting to sort of play from the other side and not always be the one making the calls or deciding how things should be done, and really just letting go of that role. And that's been a big challenge for me as well, is stepping out of the shoes that I really like being in. And I'll also add to what Dom says that in the new job, I've also been late on community manager articles, and Sherry's been really nice to me as well. So, sorry, Sherry.
You guys are silly. I would say that my biggest struggle is kind of similar, not to just echo everyone else, but it's the first year that I've really been officially a team lead of a project. Well, of community management, not really of a project. But so it's been really interesting to learn how to kind of balance that and learn how to mentor people without just being like, well, I think we should do it this way, but actually have logical reasoning behind it and realize that just because someone does something a little different than you would doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong, and just kind of looking at the end goal and what it's accomplishing. So.
Do I just go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, being a new community manager, this year was full of challenges for me. Started out with a community site that was set up by the products team, and so it was a little bit of a struggle to get them to relinquish creative control of that. I also had to learn basic HTML code, which was fun. I spent 3 days in school for that. And then just the challenge for me this year has been gaining membership, and that's really why I've been hanging out on these Google chats with you guys to see like what your insights are on that, because they put a lot of emphasis on how many numbers, how many people you have in your community, and so the big challenge for me this year has been driving up those numbers. That's it for me.
Oh, Jessica, I think you're just muted, that's all. I saw you're trying to talk.
Sorry, my bad. Can I go slightly off topic and give a couple of examples of how to gain new members?
Sure.
Okay. I was just going to happen to say that I don't know the type of community that you run, Crystal. Oh, cool. I can actually see you on camera now. Yay. But I would probably say like one of the first things to focus on is, and I know there's always that balancing act of getting more members, but also making sure the quality stays high. Because the last thing you want to do is wind up running some type of massive giveaway or do something like massive advertising promotion, but you end up realizing that you're targeting the wrong people, and at that point in time you have very low engagement numbers. Your numbers might be high, but most of those people are going to drop out of the community. So I'd probably say like to focus on like reaching. I don't know your total audience, but reach out to people. Like reach out to 10 or 15 of the people targeted out, and just even doing it by things that don't necessarily scale well, like by email or hanging out in the community that they already hang out if there's a Facebook group or a Twitter chat, or a forum that most of your community members or most of your potential community members already are. Kind of hang out where they already are, build those relationships, and then slowly get them to want to participate in your community, which is a great way to build up a super engaged community as well.
Well, right now we're just targeting our customer base. So just to tell you briefly what I do, I am a customer. Well, we're a community manager for a piece of software. So it's a piece of software that Blackbaud has that I run a community site for. So it's kind of a support site, but it's also kind of geared towards specifically that customer base. So what we've been targeting with our emails is our customers, basically, anybody who uses that product. So luckily, I think it's working, and hopefully they won't set like an insanely huge goal for me for next year, which I think that they will. But yeah, that's great advice, and I hope that I've been doing that correctly in the targeting of them.
Yeah, I run a site. I'm a community manager for a customer support community myself, and I think one of the things that like I myself made this mistake too, where it's like usually undervaluing how much of an impact a really targeted email campaign can do to actually luring people into your community. So run some type of campaign that's around, if you guys have a specific month or a specific type of contest that you guys always do, run that campaign, launch it all from the community, like offer some types of incentives to participate, and then kind of email your current customer base and maybe like get some of your most active people in the community to start doing it already, and then email new people. What is a good way to like drive up participation, drive up more people wanting to get involved, and when we have that contest, you run incentives that way.
Awesome.
I can't see you, so I don't know if that's helpful or not.
Yes, it's helpful. I'm sorry that you guys can't see me. I've got like full bars here on my end. I'm not sure what's going on.
I can tell that you're nodding along though. Like you could feel the head nods.
I was nodding along. I was.
I wanted to bring in just a couple more from Twitter here. First of all, Faya says, listening, this was before when we were talking about our first question, favorite moments. Says, listening to you people, just want to share my favorite moment. It was a few days ago when I got a response from a real person on Facebook. It didn't really resolve anything, but after 3 years of asking and only getting an auto reply, it felt like I'm almost there. So that's pretty awesome, especially, you know, like, yeah, it's very difficult to get actual responses from Facebook until you have, until you're either well connected inside or you're managing big enough accounts that really just, I guess, paying them money, right?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, that's one of the reasons I like working with Twitter. They're a lot easier to get a hold of because they have Twitter accounts and you can talk to them. So it can be a lot easier to work with them than with Facebook. But I feel like Facebook almost does that on purpose to add to sort of the mystique of we're Facebook. I'm lucky that because I work in an agency, I am fairly well connected and I have people I can prod out from both Facebook and Twitter. But I think even for me, it's often easier to solve problems with Twitter than with Facebook because it's so much easier to get a real person on the other end.
Yeah, I would agree. Twitter does a great job in caring about people and having great customer service, and for sure. Amir says his biggest struggle was picking and choosing. You only have so much time to put effort in certain platforms. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, basically. Sheldon says not enough ears, but I have no much eggnog, so much eggnog. And here we go. Make sure we're following you, Sheldon. Here, Rachel says transitioning from an in the trenches role to a more holistic role. Tina says transforming a company Twitter account from broadcast style to community. Oh, that's kind of interesting. And then Eagle Eye Editor says content creation sometimes, always working on content that's both educational and amusing. I think. Go ahead, Dom.
Yeah, jump into what Tina was saying there. That's a really. I saw Emma nodding her head too. You know, when you're working with a company that's really tough, and in order to make that transition, you really have to do a great job of storytelling to the C-suite about that. That whole idea of that social it needs to be that community. That's where you're going to get your power, and it's not even that you could sort of go either or. because if you are going just the broadcasting and all you are is the distribution channel, people hate that. And they're going to tune you out, and they're almost going to get angry with you. Like, it's not like they're just going to be like, meh, we'll let Oreo do whatever they want to do. Like, if Oreo just turns into nothing but just putting out that stuff, then you're going to get a lot of blogs that are written about how horrible they are at social, and it ends up being very bad for you. So, it's a huge thing to have to try to tell that to people and to get the C-suite into it and then do all of the work afterwards. It's like, it's an uphill struggle, the right struggle, but it definitely is one. Unless you get a really cool boss that's just like, hey, do whatever the hell you want, I don't care.
I think for me and our team, our biggest struggle in 2014 was just voice. As we, we're an agency that does community management, and so we have lots of different voices, so to speak, on all kinds of different accounts, and so I think that's it's still something we struggle with every day, which is how do you capture and train and make sure that you're speaking in the right brand voice and kind of doing a little bit of that method acting that I know we've talked about in the past, but and then of course as you're possibly working several accounts, or switching from one brand to the next, how do you keep in mind you need to change your voice? That's always tough. So.
Can I share one other thing too? And this is really personal, just my own personality. Sherry's shaking her head no. Yeah, I'm gonna share anyway. I am, and I know that a lot of us fall into this, because we have all these great ideas. We're very big picture. There's a lot of really awesome stuff that we can do. And someday, being that millennial mindset of wanting to get that big picture stuff, one of my struggles this year has been pushing through the minutia and that little daily BS that nobody really wants to do. Finishing a project you don't feel super, super passionate about, because inside of our heads we're like, oh, what if we could do that really big, awesome thing? I know personally that's a really big thing for me, and I hope somebody else feels the same way, or else I'm just a lazy bum that doesn't want to do the hard stuff.
Let's see. Let's jump into question number 3 here, which is, what's the craziest thing that happened in your community in 2014? So I don't know about craziest thing that happened in my community, but I will tell you a crazy story about community. I don't know how many episodes ago this was. Dom, I think it might have been one of the first times you were on. But there's actually a mouse that was starting to run at me during one of the community manager hangouts, and I freaked out. Luckily, I wasn't talking. I think it was like you could only, if you watched the replay, you saw me in the little corner. I just freak out. And so I wanted to go and get a mouse trap, and so I ran upstairs as fast as I could. I quick muted my camera. And then I proceeded to fall up the stairs and then back down the stairs, and then gave up on the trap, came back because I was like, shit, what if they're done talking and everyone's just waiting for the next question? And then I sat here through the rest of the show in tons of pain. My knees were bleeding all over. It was just terrible, all from this little stupid mouse.
I remember that. I remember that incredibly vividly. I could put myself there, and I remember. I forget who was on the panel, but we were just laughing so hard in the little chat that we had over here, because I saw you just straight jump, and of course you're muted, so it's not like the camera clicks to you. But you could just go back. We'll have to figure it out and have people go back. I want to make a GIF of Brew jumping in the corner, because it would be just the greatest thing.
Brew, weren't you also attacked by a spider during the live hangout?
Yes. I was also once. Yes, a spider, a huge one, came down right in front of me, and again, I wasn't on camera, just in the corner, but you can't see it. But you can see me doing this, trying to swat it away. That was pretty funny. Oh boy, good times, good times.
Maybe you should get out of your dungeon. And I know that every week people make fun of Mark Rowan. Most importantly, makes fun of how it looks like you're just locked up. Like Tim has the key and he takes it back to New York, every week with him. Like, how does Brew actually get food or water? Nobody knows.
So,
Nobody knows.
Dom, on a scale of 1 to 10, how glad are you that we're broadcasting from a studio and not Brew's basement?
I'm very, very glad. It makes it much safer for my own self. You know, I don't know. Like, maybe that's his plan, like, to have us up there, and then somehow, like, it's a curse. He's going to trade places with one of us, and then we have to broadcast from that
The
basement for a
transferal
year.
potion? There's a transferal potion in Munchkin. Is that what you're talking about?
Are we talking about potions now?
Well,
This must
yeah.
be the last show of the year.
Okay, so I have to ask why Dom has yet to broadcast from Tim Hortons, and this was brought up on Twitter, so I feel like I can make a case out of this, because whenever I'm asking Dom about it on Twitter or on Facebook or anyone else, he is flat out ignoring me. So because it came up in the Twitter chat, Dom has promised a video to all us Canadians of him having his first ever time at Tim Hortons, and he still has not done it. And here he is in a different coffee shop.
Okay, here's if you want the real reason why I'm from this coffee shop today. Number one, the coffee's great. Number two, if you look at my poll from Christmas yesterday, Dom's sitting on a bunch of free coffee. So that's part of the reason why I'm here. I will get to your Timmy Hortons vine. I actually just vined at Applebee's the other day, and it got me like 1,000 loops. So let's see if Timmy Hortons is as good as Applebee's on social media, and I'll get in there and get some Tim bits or whatever they're called, silly Canadians. And I'm going to call it Timmy Hortons. You can keep telling me it's either Timmy's or Tim Hortons. It's Timmy Hortons to me. So this is definitely the last chat of the year. This is getting off the rails quick.
All right, Sherry, Jessica, Crystal, you guys have any crazy stories?
Well, this one time this dragon came in. No, I can't top a spider and a mouse story, but
Can I just say that for a split second? I was like, holy shit, a dragon?
a dragon came in our office,
Wait a minute.
leaving fire.
A joke, yeah.
No, can you guys see me now? I don't know.
Yeah, you look great.
Oh, okay. So as a new community manager, one of my goals was to kind of improve the look of the page. Having not known HTML at the time, I just kind of went in and kind of learned as I was doing it. So at one point, our community page had the most obnoxious color scheme ever created by man. I mean, it looked like a really bad Christmas disco party, and my coworkers, bless their hearts, didn't say anything about it except this one girl who finally emailed me, and she's like, I don't think this color scheme's going to work. And I had to explain to her that, I was just testing some stuff out. I wasn't really going to keep it. But it's been a lot of trial and error. And coming from TV news, when you guys say, like, what's the craziest thing? I mean, working in TV news, I could tell you stories that'll make your hair turn white. But working as a community manager, comparatively, it hasn't been too crazy for me yet. So hopefully it'll continue to stay the course. But sorry, no dragons.
I think the craziest thing that happened for me this year was we had one of the brands I was working on, we had a joint promotion with another major company. So on the other major company's website, they were basically running a promotion where we would give out prizes to some of their members. In the end, the thing was like a box of a food product that we were selling. And the couponing communities got a hold of the link. And we were expecting to give away maybe 250 boxes, and we got thousands of requests to the point where we eventually couldn't fill them. So we were just saying, it's over, we don't have any more, supplies have run out, and they got so angry because I gotta say it, but couponing communities are like the most entitled people I've ever met. Like it was insane. It was so insane and it was so rude. They got a hold of something they absolutely were not entitled to have, and were really, really obnoxious about it. And that is far and away the craziest thing that I dealt with this year.
Couponers are crazy. I agree with you, Emma. They're nuts.
Are they couponers or couponers?
Coupon.
I think that depends on where you live.
It's all about the coops, baby. It's all about the coops.
It's coupon in the South. We also say y'all, so.
And everything's a Coke.
What about you, Dom? Are you a coupon guy or a coupon guy?
I am coupon.
Yeah.
Yep. I had to say it out loud.
I
I'm a rewards card member.
I think you can tell that coupon is more like Midwest, because it wasn't Groupon from the Midwest, right? Or no?
I think so. I think they're Chicago or something.
Yeah. Otherwise, they would have been like
Chicago.
Groupon. If they, anyways.
Groupon sounds totally different.
Groupon, Coupon. Yeah, I like coupon. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's ask Twitter. Is it coupon or coupon?
Important questions of CMJR Hangout.
Man, we are
No,
just
what you need to do is you need to trust my pronunciations of things, because remember, it's GIF and not GIF. And I don't want to hear anything from Emma, because she puts a U in favorite. Emma puts a U in favorite, so I don't care about that.
The creator says that it is a GIF.
Well, he's
He knows
wrong.
better than you.
It's graphics interchange format. It's graphics. It's not Jaffics, so it's not GIF.
Emma, are you from Canada?
Yes,
Yeah,
she lives in Toronto.
My coworker is from Canada too. She puts you in favorite and color.
Yeah.
So,
It's the UK spelling. Canadians are
It's
weird.
not. Canadians are a hybrid. It's about halfway between UK and US.
The U's are a Canadian British thing.
Yeah,
It's inefficient for Twitter, really. Extra
That's
characters.
true. That's true. But it's about halfway between US and UK spelling.
Sherry, that's actually how I spell all of my things. It's like, is this sufficient for Twitter? Yes?
Yeah.
Then that's the
Yeah,
correct
that's why I just call it fave. I don't even say favorite. I'm just like, what's your fave?
A
Pretty
good
much
rule.
the more you can
A lot
talk
easier.
like a teenager, the more efficiently you can tweet.
Yeah, we usually add the
YOLO.
U like the UK does, but we don't change. Like you would say, realize with a Z, and the UK
Yeah,
would
Z,
say
by
with
the way,
S,
is another
and the Z-
Canadian thing. It's a
yeah.
Z.
use the Z in Canada, which is a Z. I don't know.
Hashtag YOLO.
Hashtag
So
rabbit
I
trail.
totally have to bring in this tweet because it's freaking hilarious. Kristen says, haha, the couponer discussion. It's true, don't mess with them. They will buy you and get 3 free.
They
Love
will.
that. Oh my
They
god.
totally will.
Ain't that the truth?
But all this talk about couponers, if there's any out there that have a good amount of money and want to sponsor my community manager hangouts, go ahead and take that too. So I could learn to love coupons.
Let's move us along here to number 4 about wanting, this number 4's question is, what do you want to see happen to your community in 2015? Jessica, what are you looking forward to kind of, as you look with your communities next year?
I was actually hoping for the 5th question because I have a really good answer for that one. But let me see if I can talk something. Well, I guess the one thing is to continue to grow the community. I mean, that's what I'm assuming it's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I don't think it's a cop-out answer. I mean,
considering to
probably,
keep the community growing.
Yeah, top of mind is
Not
growth,
only when
right?
it comes to numbers and, new members, but also when it comes to, keeping the core, as the community gets larger, and it tends to, continuing to kind of build off and by having those subgroups so it doesn't get so large that, at that point in time, the barrier to entry becomes too high because who's going to want to contribute if there are, a billion different conversations all happening at once, so kind of focusing a bit more on the holistic aspect of, bringing like-minded people together and having subsections as well to keep the community not only growing but also engaged in a healthier, have a tighter sense of community as well.
Awesome. How about you, Crystal? What are you looking forward to for 2015?
We are switching platforms this year, sometime probably here in the next 2 or 3 months. So I'm going to be learning a completely new platform. We're going to go to Small World Labs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them or not. Who said yes?
I've heard of them. I've never used them, but I've heard.
Okay, great. Well, right now we use GetSat, and it's sufficient. It fulfills our needs. It's pretty simple, but I think with the new platform, we're going to be going to more of a one-stop shop with blogs and postings and support and all that. So really my goal for 2015 for my community is for it to become a really self-supportive support community, and that means getting my members in there answering each other's questions as opposed to us putting the manpower in to find the answers for them, or at least getting on there and being able to search and finding the answers that they need. So that'll be the big goal for me for 2015.
Very cool.
How about you, Sherry? What are some of the things you're looking forward to for 2015?
I was looking at my phone, not thinking.
That's fine.
We can come back to me. How's that?
Okay. I'm looking forward to, I don't know, when I think 2015, I got to be honest, I'm just really looking forward to Community Manager Appreciation Day. This is, I don't know, it's just such a cool day. I think this year is going to be really fun. I love I love mostly just meeting so many people during the day, or re-meeting, or, and just watching community management topics unfold from literally around the world, and it's always really interesting to just learn from other people. And so as I look at my community manager as one of the communities I hang out in, that's what I'm looking forward to mostly for 2015, is really just learning from more people, bringing in new people. I love seeing new people on the chat or in comments when they're just basic things are eye-opening for them, even though sometimes we feel like we've talked about them a handful of times. It seems like everybody always can pull some good nuggets of wisdom, and so I'm looking forward to helping more people out in 2015 that way.
You guys have been talking a lot about Community Manager Appreciation Day. I already put it on my boss's calendar as a reminder, but what happens? Do you guys get parties? What? Do you all go out for beers? What's Community Manager?
So we all take off for the day. So literally, just the internet doesn't work that day.
Is that what it is?
I'm kidding. But yeah, so Community Manager Appreciation Day. Everyone does something different, right? So I know Sherry's been finding a lot of different events. We've been adding them to our cmad.co page, just documenting all the different parties that are happening, and so. Definitely people just get together to celebrate. Some people, it's sort of like a Secretary's Day, right, where you might, recognize the community managers in your life if you're not a community manager. And then something we started doing here, it was 2 years ago, kind of taking the format of this show and expanding it just to be nonstop. So first year we did 12 hours. Year after that we did 24 hours, and then this year as well we're going to do 24 one-hour shows in a row, and bringing in people from all over the world just to discuss community management. And then at the end of the day, I think Sherry, do we have one where it's going to be at someone's party or conference or something like that?
The final hour is just kind of a reflection on the day, so anyone that's hosted or been at a community manager meetup that day, we're just inviting to come hang out and check in, or anyone else that just wasn't on a panel and wants to chat about the day with us.
Yeah, so Crystal, there's definitely meetups and parties that are planned all over the world, really, right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys can come to Charleston anytime. I'm inviting you.
Awesome.
I am sort of taking point on the outreach. So if you do have an event in your area, shoot me a message, let me know, and I will make sure that we all know about it and that we're talking about it, and that we can even get you involved to come back and chat a bit about how your event went on the panel here. So if you know of anything happening, shoot me a tweet.
Also, if we're talking about things we're taking point on, I'm taking point on awards as well, which is another thing that we've got going on. So there's a couple of different awards. If you check after the new year, I'm actually working on getting the finalized doc. We're going to throw that up on the cmad.co website, and you can actually nominate different community managers that you know for different awards, whether it's something like the funniest or the fastest response time or the community manager, sort of a lifetime achievement type of award, the overall one. We're going to be giving out those throughout the day as well, announcing who the winners are. So another fun little part of it, which is exciting to look forward to, and hopefully there'll be a bunch of people using CMAD as their exciting point of 2015 at the end of 2015.
So Dom, did you say that you could? Dom, did you say you could nominate people now for an award?
No, not yet. You're going to want to look for it after the first of the year. So we're going to have about a 2-week open nomination period, and then we have an entire committee that's going to go over everybody's stuff and figure out who our winners actually are. But after the first of the year, you're going to have a place where you can go on the CMAD website to do your nominationing.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to throw us over to Twitter, see some of the answers from over there. So Kristen says, I help my husband with a Facebook community, and we're going to blow that up. Blow it up, Kristen. Add channels and functionality and more offline. So that sounds exciting. Got Nikki. Nikki says, more networking, growth, and more engagement. So that's pretty sweet. Christoph says, one hope, only authentic stories in 2015. So, man, with a big thumbs up from Emma. And Eagle Eye Editor says, growth and more engagement, being able to intrigue people and offer even more fun topics to discuss. Sheldon says, full mobilization of personal and corporate business. Ooh, that's a big one for 2015. Rachel says, continual growth and watching community members interact on and offline and on multiple channels. So all over the place. Amir says, honestly, in 2015, I'm hoping for some videos of dogs wearing GoPros. Hell yeah. And then I want to see it grow in enthusiasm because why wouldn't I, says C. Barrows.
Amir, just remember, be the change you want to see in the world, man. Go buy some GoPros and find some dogs. You can make that happen.
Yes. Let's do it. All right, so our final question of the day. Actually, our final question of the year. So let's take a minute and reflect on that. How can you better empower your community in 2015? So let's talk about empowered tips.
I think that what was it? Was it Christoph or Christopher who just had an answer in the last one? I know this sounds like a buzzword, and I'm sure Patrick is out there laughing, but I mean authenticity, like being real.
Synergy.
That's synergy. I mean that's one of the biggest things is that the minute the community managers actually have that realization that they're put in their position for a reason. The person that put you there for a reason, and that's because you as a person have the ability to sort of take that community and be real, be authentic with it, make honest to God connections with people. None of this bullshit sort of surface level stuff, but actually get down deep with people. The minute that you actually do that, I think that's the most important thing. So, being real and being authentic with people, that's the greatest way to empower it because they see you doing it and they're going to do it as well.
Yeah, I really think the best thing you can do for your community to empower them is to be one of them. Even if it's your community, even if it is a branded community, ultimately you are a member like every other member. Maybe, you're starting the majority of the conversations because it is your community, but, that's also probably how it would go if you had a bunch of strangers over at your house for a dinner party. Even if you're the one sort of, yes, that's Dom's analogy. even if you're the one sort of starting and driving the conversations, you have to remember that ultimately you are a member of your own community, and if you're not behaving like one, then you're not really empowering your community to be anything else. You got to be the example. If you want to have a community, be a community member.
Good tips. I guess the one thing I would add to that as well, and it's going to go slightly off topic, but when it comes to empowering your community, also trying to take, and I'm a big believer of this, and I hope that, and I see this trend going on not only next year, but for years to come, is empowering the conversations to continue on your own channels. So kind of maybe, I have pretty strong opinions about why most Facebook pages aren't true communities, and that's for another topic here, not there. But kind of turning into something where it's, if you have a forum or you have a blog or you have an outlet that's, or even just an email list or whatever, turning that into something where it's continuing the conversations on your own channel, on your own channels, is so beneficial, especially when you, to just kind of keep that, like, it's great to be on Facebook, it's great to be on Twitter, it's great to be on that, but owning your data, I'm a huge fan of owning your data, and continuing to own that data is, and having conversations take place where you have more of that control and have the ability to better control the conversation is so critical.
Awesome. Emma, I did just want to bring up, there was a tweet here. It looks like it's directed to you. Someone, Amy, would love for you to say about again, because she loves it.
It's about. It's not a boot. It's about. I'm not saying a boot. It's about. I got nothing for you.
It's all right. So what about that? No, that's a great answer, Jessica. What are some other thoughts about empowering your communities? I mean,
one thing. I think that a lot of times when we do talk about data and hard numbers, and goals, and things like that, my just big thing is allow yourself to get a little romantic with the idea about your community. Like, really have that passion that comes in it. Because I know a lot of times that romantic thought of, if we're all just real and authentic and we can get that engagement, it kind of, you know, we all roll our eyes at that. But at the same time, I think that we need to have a little bit of that, because there is a point where, like, this whole idea of marketing and social media is a little broken. So I think that we do need to have that sort of romantic look at it of, we can really be that change and make it happen. So I know that sounds grandiose. It's probably because it's the end of the year and we can make statements like that and not get bludgeoned. But I think that it's a good thought.
Well, I would say on that point, in my experience, I work with a lot of tech people, and coming in from it from an outside source, they're very data-driven and analytics. So when it comes to them trying to have a conversation with real people, it's not as easy for them, I don't think. So I would say upon that, just when it's cliche as it sounds, when be yourself. I mean, just be yourself. Like, I'm not afraid to use an emoticon when I reply to people in community. I'll throw a smiley face in there all day long. And I'm not afraid to tell people a little about my life either. Like, hey, I hope you had a good Christmas. Here's what I did. It was amazing. So I think just being real is just a matter of using that personality that you have to get that got you the community manager job, because I doubt any of us got a community manager job being boring, stuffy people. I mean, I just don't think it happens. You don't hire boring, stuffy community managers. So take that aspect that you have of yourself and really let it shine in community, and hopefully it'll resonate. I mean, a lot of our customers are also data analytic people, but you know, they're humans. They've got a fun side. They've got a softer side. So just don't be afraid to let your freak flag flow. Just not too freaky.
Yeah, fly that freak flag. All right, just where I'm going to wrap things up here with just quickly going through a couple things from Twitter. So Amir says UGC. So have them be the voice. Look what GoPro does. Amir, you love GoPros, I'm telling you. Does and highlight their audience, which is cool because GoPro's awesome. Empowered and content generation. I totally agree. Having user-generated content or co-creating content with your users, definitely a way for them to feel empowered. Simple answer from Miller, but educate by example, right? So that's definitely makes a lot of sense. Synergistic authenticity. That's 2 drinks there. Thank you, Amy. Nikki says, continued education, more outreach, more graphics, being original, and furthering relationships. Kristen says, first, improve UX, which is user experience. Do everything possible to make things easy, accessible, and fast. Close the circuit, as it were.
And that's probably what makes community managers like Sherry invaluable, who have the double skill set of also being UX.
Yeah, absolutely. Empower community by sharing your knowledge. Listen and eliminate unnecessary barriers. And finally, listen, hear what they have to say, and show them that. Leadership by example. So it's awesome, guys. That rounds out the hour. We are out of time. Unfortunately, we probably go for several more hours, but we don't have to. So we're just going to end the show.
How about 24 in a row in about a month? What if you do that, Brew? What do you say?
All right, that's fine. But we got to make them 50 minutes long. Otherwise, it's impossible because you have to have time to get a drink of water here and there. All right, guys. I will. I hope to see all of you next Friday. Have a happy New Year, and thanks for hanging out with us.
See you next year.
Bye, guys. Thank you.